In this video, we're going to go through how to use the email builder or how to write emails in. So there's a couple of ways to do this. The first way we're going to show you is directly in the campaigns, and then I'll show you how the email tool works, email builder tool works, sorry. So first of all, I'm going to click on marketing on the left and hit campaigns. And for this, now you may have already preloaded campaigns in your account, but for this one, we're going to create a new campaign. To create from scratch so I can show you the email builder, right? So I'm going to put in here, this is going to be our demo email campaign. And I'm actually going to set it to publish straight away so that I know that it's working, right? So if this is set to draft, it means that anyone added to this campaign won't send. How to actually trigger these is in another video. This is just about building the email. So first step when you're using emails is set the campaign configuration to the email address you want to send from. Otherwise, it'll just show the word reply and your default sending domain. So what we'll do is, in this case, we're going to say it's from Matt at activefit.com.au. You can make this whatever you want. It can literally be whatever you want. Obviously make it a real email address so people reply to it and it goes somewhere. And then we recommend putting an actual name here. So don't put your company name here, put a person's name, because that will actually show up as a person in the email, which is usually going to get a better open rate for somebody. Now, again, we're not going to go too much into the configuration of this. I'm going to leave stops and response off and allow multiple on. That is covered in other videos, but suffice to say, when you're sending emails, you need to have this from stuff filled out. I'm going to hit save. And then we're going to add an event. In this case, we're going to add an email. So the first method of building an email is literally in here. So first of all, the name of the email here is just for your reference. Okay, so this is a label of the email. So nobody else sees that. Subject, the customer does see. Now you can, for example, you can do things like put in their name in that. So I could say contact first name, and I've just used the editor down here. Then I'm going to copy that and put it in here, right? So I could just say, thank you. And then I'm going to, in this case, pick email template empty. I don't have any templates for now, and I'm going to write the email down here. So I literally just type in whatever I want. So I'm going to say hi, and I'll just show you that step again where I got contact name, hi, and then I go to custom values just here. I click that drop down, and I'm choosing to input their first name. There's a whole heap of options you can choose. User is actually the team member, like in your business, who's been allocated to them. So if you have different team members, you can have whoever's allocated to that contact. You can put things like their name in as the signature block and things like that. Appointment, if they've booked an appointment, useful links are start date and time. That will literally say, like, it is on the 10th of July at 4 p.m. And cancellation links, sorry, not these two, add to Google Calendar and add to iCalendar are useful things to add in. People can click and they'll add their calendar. That's mostly what you'll be using here, right? But there are obviously other things you can do depending on what you want. Account is all the information from your business, so you can insert those as well. Campaign custom fields are relative to this campaign, right? So if you're using event dates, they can go in there, but that's something covered in another video. Calendar name is something you may choose to use if you had, for example, you were sending appointment confirmation to somebody, but it's the same campaign for multiple calendars. It would say the name of the person's calendar, right? So you might have a name of Bob's calendar and Jane's calendar, and the calendar would be called Bob or Jane. You could insert that here. So we're keeping it simple here. We're just going to say we're going to put their first name in. So I'm going to go custom values, contact, and first name. And we're just going to write thanks for your interest. You might find this video interesting. Okay, and I'm going to show you how you can actually put GIFs into your emails, because this is something that can, make really engaging emails, right? So what you can do is you can go to a tool called Make a GIF, and this one here, makeagif.com, this is free. You can pay for it, which removes their watermark, but I'm just going to show you an example of how quick this is to do. I'm going to go here, go YouTube to GIF. I've got a YouTube video here of me, and we're going to paste this in here. from here in this tool, I can say, look, I don't want this little animation at the start. I'm going to put the start time further in. So it gives me a preview of what it's going to show. I'm going to say that looks a bit not so animated. Let me find another bit. Maybe I'll use that bit there, right? Okay. Now GIF length is set to 5 seconds. That's fine. There is a cool effect they use called ping pong, which means that it plays and then reverses. It just makes it like a smoothly playing. You can see it doesn't actually stop. It just goes back and forth. GIF speed, you can make it a bit faster and you get more stuff in there. And you can see here the make a GIF watermark. You could turn that off if you had a paid account. Always leave it on low, even if you have a paid account, because it will mean the image will load much faster in the email. And then I go continue to publishing. Create your GIF. Oh, no category selected. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, create your GIF. Okay, so this is now going to create this GIF. So you can see here's an example here, right? Or you could use this one. It's a pretty exciting one. So what it basically does is it puts an image into your email that is animated. So it's not an actual video, but it looks like a video, and then you can make clickable. And yeah, I mean, certainly most of my businesses, were built on email marketing, and, putting things like GIFs in gets a much higher response rate of people actually clicking on it and watching what you have to say, because hardly anybody does this, and it makes your emails stand out. So here's the email. So here's the GIF just here, right? So you can see this is what it looks like. I'm going to just hit the download button over here. So it's in the bottom here. I just download the GIF. And literally all I do is I go back into my Poly account and I drag the GIF here, and boom, there it is. So you can resize it if you want to whatever you want. Generally the size it comes in is perfectly fine. There's my GIF, and then you could have underneath it, click here to watch the video, and then what you can do is double click the text, and then this link button here in the editor, you can hit that, and then let's just put in that YouTube URL, for example, or you would send them to your web page, and go okay, and now it's a link, and then we can type our signature block down the bottom. If you hit Shift Enter, it'll make just a straight line underneath without the space. Director, active fit, and you put whatever credentials you want underneath that. And I'm going to make that bold. Okay, so you can do whatever you want there. Now you can also do stuff like, okay, well I want it a little bit fancy. I want to put a header in. So you can drag an image in just like I did with that GIF then, or you can click this button and hit upload, and you can drag an image in here, which I will do, or you can browse for an image on your computer. So I'm going to drag in like a logo here. Okay, and then Poly will actually host this file for you, and hit OK. And there's my logo. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit because I don't want it to take up so much room on a mobile. There we go. And there's the email. So I actually get a preview of what it looks like on someone's phone as well, which is cool. And that's my email built. So other things you can do in this editor, you can change the text with bold, italics. You can center it. You can change the font. You can change the size. You can change it to different pre-formatted headers. Clear formatting. You can undo things, redo things, and then you can have other editors here. Yep, that's basically what's sitting down here actually. Right. Okay. So I'm going to change this back. I didn't know what I had. I think it was Arial. Right. Okay. There we go. And then I get a preview just here. Now, so that's fine. What I can do here as well, and this is explaining more of the the timings of how this stuff works, is you can put a custom time per email in terms of when you want this email sent. I'm not going to do that just here because I want to show you guys, I want to show you in this video more about email building. This is covered in actually configuring campaigns. You can attach a file. Generally, attaching files will reduce your deliverability rate as a CRM, so we don't recommend doing that. Very important that you save any work here. If you close this window, you will lose whatever you've done. So very important to save whatever work. Okay, so I'm going to go back into this and edit and show you can also send yourself a test. So you can put whatever email you want in here, doesn't matter. It'll just show up from that address in your account, and then you can send it to yourself, your email address, hit send, and you can actually preview what the email looks like. So I do recommend doing that, at least with a couple of them, see what they look like, just to see that you're happy with how it looks. And then from there, what you can do is you can copy everything in here, or you could just use Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac, and copy it. So I'm using Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac, and copy that, and then I'll save that. And then we can add another email. So we wanted a second email in this sequence. So this is second email, or maybe that would be a better thing to put up here. Second email. Does this sound familiar? Okay, now I'm not going to use a template, but what I'm going to do is hit Control V, paste it, and I paste everything back in. So now I've got my image, my GIF. I could say, okay, I don't want that one there. And I can change the message, new message here. But you can see all the work I've done in setting up how I want my email to look is still there, right? So it just speeds up building out your emails, okay? So I'll save that. Now, what if you wanted to have an email in multiple campaigns, but you didn't want to have to edit it across every campaign every time you made changes to it? That's what email templates are for, right? So if I had, for example, say someone ordered something and it was a thank you email, just saying thanks for your order, and there was a few other bits of information there, but it was in multiple campaigns, you might want to use what's called an email template, right? So what I can do is in the left-hand menu here, I can go to Email Builder, and this is where you can create templates. So in this account, we don't have any, so I can click here, or I can hit New Template. And what this will do is open like a drag and drop email builder. Now, this will come up with a template by default, and this is sort of a nicely framed one. So what you can do is just edit it. So I could say, look, I'm going to edit this image. Well, let me just walk you through the builder, first. So first thing is you can preview what it looks like on a tablet or a mobile in the top left here. You can edit in full screen. I'm not going to do that right now. I can show the code for it, which we're actually going to come back to in a second, which I'll explain why. Import a template, which I'll explain once we've done this. And toggle images on and off in your display. Undo and redo anything that you've done. You can clear everything with this trash can, and you can save your work just here. Now these other icons over here, edit and settings, are relevant to whatever image or element you're working on, right? So if I was to click on this area of text here, build your template faster than ever, and then hit the little paintbrush for edit, that's where I can edit things like the sizes of it, the font in typography, things like that. So, I can see here if I change the font size, we'll see that reflect on the left. You can see that changing there. And now I'm, font size 50, but now the spacing's not right. So I might change my line height up to, 40 as well. And you can see how that's changing, let's say 50. Okay, so there you go. That's how that's changed there. Other things you can edit, it's very customizable. There's more here than you will likely need. So that's an example of how that works. And in the settings of it, other more advanced component settings depending on what it is. So here's this image. That's like the alternate text of describing the image. So again, some of these are settings you won't need. And then you can view the list of components with this list here, similar to a website builder. So at the end of the day, mostly what you need to know is you click on the thing you want to edit, hit the little paintbrush, and then that's where you can change the settings of that element. That's basically it. If it's text, you can double click on it, and then you can edit the text. Now, as I mentioned, you might want to just use this template so to keep things framed. What you can do is just do things like replace the image. So I can delete the images there, but the frame is still there. So then I can click far on the right here where all my components are. So this is where you add different sections, buttons, dividers, and images. So what I could do is drag an image back in here and say I want a different image there. And I'm going to upload a new image here. So this is the actual icon that I want it to be. select it, hit add image, close it, and then there's my image sitting just here, right? And I can resize that as I want, just like that. Super easy. I can change this text to what I want it to say, just like that. I could put a new image here, or I could just get rid of it, put in my text here, and whatever text I want here, I can replace this button. If I wanted to edit what that button is saying, I just double click on it and I can change what I want it to say. Test button, oops, here. And if I wanted to change anything about how it's looking, I'd hit the edit tab up here. I'm already in that, and I can look at the typography and I can change how it looks and change the the layout within it if I wanted as well. So that's how that works just there. Now you can put in your details down here about your business and your email address and things like that. Important to note that with the previous way of building in campaigns, or if you're building templates in here, you'll also always have an unsubscribe button underneath. That's actually something that's it's mandatory. It's already there. You don't have to add it. It will sit there on your emails based on what we set up for you in your account through our sending account that runs it. So that's how to use the email builder. Now what you can do with this is you can save this, and I'm going to say this is email template 1, that's fine, and save that. Now when I go back to my email builder list here on the left, if I wanted to add a new template, what I can do is say, okay, well, let's say this email template here, I want to use this so I can actually view the code. That's what I was talking about before. Select everything, copy it, go back to email builder, add a new template. So this is template 2. And there's a few things I can do here, right? This is what I want to show you other ways of building it. Firstly, if I use the trash can, I can clear the canvas completely. And then I just add in the elements I want, right? So I can add in, I could add an image up here. And I could add the logo I used in the previous section. So I'm just uploading this here, and I could use that. Yep, so that's done, close that. Then I could add some text underneath it. So I'm gonna drag this underneath. There we go. Hi. And I can insert custom information again. So first name. This is a test email, and then I could add another image underneath, or I could add a button underneath that. Space that down a bit. Okay, and so on like that. So that's another way to build your email from scratch, and I can still preview how that's going to look on different devices. So if you wanted to start from scratch, that's another way to do it. But the other thing is what you can do is you can clear the canvas and hit import template, and then just paste in, whoops, import template, and then just paste in what you copied from your other one, hit import, and then boom, there's the other template, and you can start from there, right? So I could say, this is the order template, and save that as email template 2, order email, save. So now what you can do is go back to your campaigns, and let's say in our demo campaign here, what was it, demo email campaign that I was running, we could add an email, add an event email, and we still have to set the email what it is, test template, thank you for your order. And here I can pick a template and just choose the order email, and then boom, there it is, right? So the only thing with the templates, they do sometimes look a little bit funky in the email preview on this view. So currently it's a good idea for using an email template to check it on your other page with the email builder, but then also send yourself a test, and you'll see how that works. So once that's there, just hit save. And now what happens is that if I, for some reason, had another campaign, so let's say I was, let's see, this other demo campaign, this is the second one, and I had an email in here, and I used that same template, order email, there it is, save. Now, even though this is in this campaign and it's in another campaign separately, if I go into my email builder and I actually change this order email, so, and I can say, let's just change this to changed and save that. Now when I go back to my campaigns, we can see in both campaigns, well, I'll just open one to show you, where it was a template. If I edit this, you'll see there it is. See, it's actually changed in there. So that's the purpose of the email builder, because otherwise, if you're just using single emails, you know, personally, it's actually just as easy to have an email set up like this, select it all, copy it, and paste it into a new email. So that's how to use the basic email building in either your campaign area or to use the email builder tool itself.